Hi and welcome to this course on the academic literacy component of the national benchmark tests. So the academic literacy section is tested along with quantitative literacy over 3 hours, and this is why we call it AQL, NBT AQL. And if you want to learn more about the quantitative literacy section, make sure to take a look at the course we put together for that section. So first off, what is academic literacy? Academic literacy is testing whether you are able to read, understand, and analyze in English. And basically, the way this is tested in the NBT is through source-based questions. What do we mean by source-based questions? They are essentially questions which are based on a piece of text. So what you can expect from the AQL is 75 questions. And these 75 questions are split up into different sources. The first type of source that you will get in the AL section are based on comprehension passages. And we're going to take a look at what a comprehension passage looks like, very similar to the comprehension passages you will have come across at school. The only difference is there will be a large piece of writing, perhaps a couple of paragraphs, a passage, and then you will receive multiple choice questions which are based on that passage. So the questions they won't require you to write, they will just require you to answer from 4 of the possible solutions. And out of the 75 questions, 51 questions are going to come from comprehension passages. So you will likely receive 3 passages and be expected to answer 17 questions on each of these passages. The second type of question that you're going to get in the academic literacy section are questions which are based on shorter text. So unlike the long comprehension passages, you will get a couple of sentences, 1 to 4 sentences, and then you will be asked a question on this shorter text. And from this section, about 24 questions based on 24 shorter pieces of text will be asked. And I thought it would be helpful to kind of just have a look at what the comprehension and shorter questions kind of look like. So this is an example of a comprehension passage. Very simply, you will receive a couple of paragraphs. This one is titled "The Influence of Advertising." Underneath it, you will then have questions, and as you can see, it's asked in the multiple choice format. So there are 4 possible answers. Then we move on to the short questions. The short questions are essentially based on this piece of writing above. So there's actually just one sentence. And by analyzing, reading, and understanding the sentence, you should then be able to answer the question based on the 4 possible solutions. Before we move on into how we're going to be tackling the academic literacy section, I thought it would be good to look at the academic literacy question areas. So even though you're getting 75 source-based questions, they are based, or we can break them up into different question areas. And these are the question areas. They fall into text genre, vocabulary, grammar and syntax, metaphor, communicative function, linking or cohesion, inferencing, and essential and non-essential. Now, don't freak out if you don't recognize some of these words or some of these categories. Many of them are just sort of fancy words for what you would have come across and what you would have been doing in school, in English, perhaps in history, perhaps in a couple of other subjects already. And what we're going to be doing in the next 8 lessons is essentially breaking down what these are, going into them, going into examples, and kind of understanding what the kind of questions you may be getting and give you strategies on how to tackle them. Of course, we don't know what passages are coming in, we don't know, but we have an idea of what questions are going to be asked. And so that's how we'll be tackling the following and being able to tackle academic literacy, and so gaining some confidence to actually attack and excel at the academic literacy section.